Hello everyone, my name is Daisy Castro. Imagine living with your child and being the only sole provider and then someone coming in and wanting to take full custody of your child. What would you do? Would you know how to take the next steps to ensure you don't lose custody? Would you be able to file the paperwork on your own? Or would you have to contact an attorney for assistance and advice? What if hiring an attorney meant not being able to afford your rent and living expenses? This is a problem many low-income families face when dealing with child custody and visitation battles. With the cost of legal representation getting higher, low-income communities are being forced to resolve their legal matters on their own. For most people, going through a divorce is an emotional roller coaster, but the ability to hire an attorney and handle the legal matters makes it that much less stressful. However, for someone who cannot afford an attorney, this is simply the beginning of a long and complicated journey to freedom. Whether it be a divorce from someone they once loved, a child resulting in an unplanned pregnancy between now co-parents, or being served with an eviction notice. Low-income families are being cornered to resolve these matters without proper legal assistance or representation. In this presentation, I will use conflict theory as well as my own ethnographical research to describe the gap between the disparity in legal representation for low-income communities. In the past 3 decades, government funding for legal services has dramatically gone down, while the need for legal assistance has gone up. This gap is what leads to an estimated 4/5 of legal needs to go unaddressed or are not adequately represented. In 2017, 86% of the civil legal problems that were reported by low-income Americans received inadequate assistance or no assistance at all. Programs such as Justice Corps helps to facilitate assisting self-represented litigants by using college students who are interested in the law to help litigants fill out forms and give them legal information they may need for their case. The program has students working directly under the supervision of attorneys and working in family law, civil, and unlawful detainer clinics. All of the assistance is free of charge, and we prepare the forms needed for the litigants' cases. A study done in 2016 in Wisconsin compared 2 groups of family law cases, one where neither party had legal representation, and the other where self-represented parties had assistance from students at a family law court clinic. Litigants who had student-provided aid reported that they were more likely to successfully complete their legal actions, and these litigants also expressed greater satisfaction with the legal process. The idea that only the most deserving poor or only a certain amount of people can receive free representation says more about whose problems we value in society than anything else at all. Many of them have no idea. In Sunny Short's novel, Dreams from a Monster Factory, she highlights the complications the prisoners had with their cases. Many of them had no idea where their cases stood and how to proceed with it. As a legal intern, Sunny provided assistance with their cases and saw not only how it affected them, but also their families. In many of the instances, the families were just as confused and disoriented. Had it not been for Sunny's work as an intern, many of these families would have been forced to spend thousands of dollars to hire a private attorney or been forced to continue with the case on their own. As a family law facilitator intern myself, I assist self-represented litigants with their family law matters. I work with clients with child custody visitation issues, domestic violence for both the petitioner and the respondents, and emergency orders and child support orders. With only 4 attorneys and 2 paralegals who assist with the divorce cases, us interns can only take so many clients a day. This forces litigants to wake up early and be in line as early as 4:30 to 5 in the morning to stand outside the court until 7:30 when the doors open and they can sign up to be seen by our office. Even after waiting hours in line, we advise litigants to keep an open day to wait for their turn. In all of North County, San Diego, we are the only court office who offers free legal assistance to self-represented litigants. Litigants are often faced with the burden of having to miss days from work in order to resolve their legal matters, which may prevent them from providing for their families. If more funding was allocated to free legal services, more people would be able to be helped without having to wait long lines. However, this cannot happen until we recognize that proper legal assistance is a basic human right rather than a privilege. One case in particular that really struck me was when a mother of 2 kids came into court holding back her tears while trying to explain her circumstances. She had finally gotten the courage to run away from her kids from an abusive relationship. She lived in a constant fear of her partner finding her and harming her kids. She did not speak English and knew very little how to read and write. Her eldest child was no older than 14 years old, and her youngest was around 10. She had no family, no friends, no one she can turn to in this time of need. She came to our office desperate to find a way she could not only protect herself, but her children. She knew he was looking for her, and it was only a matter of time until he would begin to blackmail her or threaten her to come back. She had no money to hire an attorney, and at that point, she felt we were her only hope. I helped translate her declaration and prepared all the necessary documents to file a domestic violence restraining order with child custody orders. After listening to her story, I knew that clinics and programs such as these are crucial to low-income communities. We cannot keep living in a nation that has such a high concentration of lawyers and have such a terrible overall system of accessible assistance. It's time to make a change and work for equal access to legal representation and adequate assistance in efforts to bridge the gap between low-income communities and the lack of legal representation. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you very, very much. Our last speaker for the session is Brittany